Alright, hey, how's it going? Welcome to another stream! We are here on twitch.tv/NicksUnderFire to talk about what would normally be a Side of Nonsense video for our channel over at Lights Camera Nonsense on YouTube. But this just seems simpler, so that's what we're gonna do today. Today, I thought we would be able to talk about the Golden Globe nominations that were announced, I believe, earlier today, if not late last night. When was this? Let's see. Let's just kind of go through the article. This is from Entertainment Weekly from Derek Lawrence. This is updated on the 26th. What day is today? It's the 3rd. Damn, this seems like far longer ago than I thought it was. Doesn't matter. With the Golden Globes being delayed this year along with many of the other award shows, it looks like things are just being slowly pushed back along with all of the delays in movie releases that we talk about on the podcast. To kind of get into it here with the article. An awards season like never before kicked into high gear Wednesday morning with 2021 Golden Globe nominations. Wednesday, that's fucking today, isn't it? Yes, it is. I wish it was the weekend. I wish it was there, but we're not. It's Wednesday. In a normal year, this unpredictable, alcohol-fueled ceremony would have taken place a month ago, but this is no normal year. It's absolutely true. Normally would have happened close to the third week of January, or second week, and would have given us a great indicator for what we can expect for the Oscars, but that is also getting pushed back. This COVID-19 pandemic pushed everything back, with the Oscars currently set for April, and Golden Globes airing in some form on February 28th on NBC with hosts Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, which are a fantastic choice. They go well together. They're best friends. Their rapport is fantastic, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think that they're going to be doing something similar to what they did last year, which was this was I did a video on this. I can't remember. There was it was for the Emmys. I apologize. That seemed like forever ago. But for the Emmys, they did a kind of like one host that constantly brought it over to special guest hosts, but like a huge screen, like an entire room of screens for all of the nominees. And I distinctly remember them constantly cutting to this like outside garden house, because the Levies continue to win every single and sweep the Emmys for their show Schitt's Creek, and we'll have to wait and see if they sweep the Golden Globes this year. It will be really interesting to see, but there are a lot of great nominees. We'll get into it. While icons Jane Fonda and Norman Lear have already been announced as recipients of the Cecil B. DeMille Award and Carol Burnett Award, respectively. I butchered that. I'm so tongue-tied right now. I'm so incredibly tired. I apologize. At the 78th Golden Globes, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association and presenters Sarah Jessica Parker and Taraji P. Henson revealed all of this year's nominees. And they did a fantastic job and probably looked fantastic doing it. Let's get into it. Let's get into the nominees. And I will probably give my 2 cents about who I think I would pick. I obviously don't have any insider information. I'm really... What? That's okay. You're just gonna have to deal. PG-13 chat, preferably. Because, come on, let's try to make the world a better place. They're starting off with the first major category for best motion picture drama. Interesting nominees: The Trial at Chicago 7, directed by Aaron Sorkin and written by Aaron Sorkin, I believe, as well. Starring Sacha Baron Cohen, not Jeremy Piven. Why am I already blanking? This is not good. Folks, let's get to IMDb. The Trial. It's going to gonna be the first one. Watch. Yep, Eddie Redmayne. That's right. Sacha Baron Cohen, Jeremy Strong. Why did I say Jeremy Piven? That's completely wrong. John Carroll Lynch, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Mark Rylance, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Fantastic cast, Frank Langella. Fantastic movie. I thought it was great. I did not expect for it to get nominated for Best Motion Picture Drama, of course. With the pedigree of a name of Aaron Sorkin, it's like Steven Spielberg getting nominated for Best Motion Picture. It's like it's gonna happen. Or one of the other nominees, Mank, who I'm already... Oh my gosh. Why am I blanking on names today? David Fincher. Holy fuck. Why could I not remember his name? Of course, being about the writer who wrote Citizen Kane, Herman J. Mankiewicz. That was a fantastic movie as well. And it's about Hollywood's history. And it takes place in the past. And it's got the pedigree of David Fincher, which makes it a strong, promising contender for this category. Nomadland, I have not seen. Frances McDormand, whose name I can remember. I've been hearing nothing but great, phenomenal things about her performance in the film. I will actually try to check it out before the actual proceedings, as it were, and then I will get back to you. Whenever they actually get to the category during the show, I will have watched it by then, and I will let you know. Promising Young Woman, I have seen. What? Holy fuck. Why am I not remembering anybody's names? Let's just get to it. Ugh. Carey Mulligan. Sweet fuck. I can't remember anybody's names. Yeah, see, PG-13 chat is what you were asking for. I'm gonna curse out the ears because I can't control myself today. Young woman traumatized by tragic event in her past seeks out vengeance against those who crossed her path. Directed, I believe this is their first feature film, Emerald Fennel. Fantastic movie. I think the main drive behind its nomination is the premise behind the film, which is a female empowerment revenge story that is very obviously easily accessible for a lot of people to kind of wrap their heads around and understand. I fully enjoyed that film, and I highly recommend it. The Father I have never heard of. What is this? Anthony Hopkins, Olivia Colman, Mark Gatiss, Florian Zeller. A man refuses all assistance from his daughter as he ages. As he tries to make sense of his changing circumstances, he begins to doubt his loved ones, his own mind, and even the fabric of his reality. So it actually technically hasn't come out in major theater chains, but I believe it's a Golden Globe contender because it's a heavy award contender. It's just one of those. This is everyone having to deal with a parent who is slowly losing their mind, and just the troubles that come with family, obviously. Olivia Colman being a huge star now in Hollywood, what with The Crown and her success in Fleabag and everything that she's in. She's fantastic. And Anthony Hopkins, of course, being a flippin' delight. I actually want to check that out. We'll probably check that out before the ceremony as well. My pick? I'm seriously considering Mank winning, although Nomadland is also getting huge buzz, so I think Nomadland might take it. Moving on to Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. Is music the name of the movie? What is this? This is half of this is just going to be looking up the movies themselves, because there are so many contenders and so many nominees that I missed, that a lot of people missed because they weren't able to go to the movie theater, or they just were straight sent to members of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association that are able to vote and decide who the winner is without anyone of the general public being able to watch the movie. It sucks, but This was the movie that had that controversy behind it. So it's directed by Sia, the famous musician. But it deals with a young girl by the name of Music who's on the autism spectrum. I apologize. But there was a controversy, I believe, because they cast a young girl who is not autistic. And there was a lot of, why didn't you cast someone who is autistic to fill that role? Because there are people who are willing to fill that role who probably auditioned. Don't know, haven't seen it. It looks interesting. I am always willing to open myself up to listening to and watching interesting stories. And if that's an interesting story that was told, then I'm willing to dive into it. But musical or comedy seems odd of a category to put it in. As for Borat, I highly doubt it's gonna win, even though political commentary wise it was chef's kiss. It's delicious. Hamilton is I believe to be the front runner, just because of how massively popular. I mean, it's a cultural phenomenon, the play, and obviously the music. Everyone knows every song. I don't. I know of some of the the beats. You got them. They got the finger snapping. That's in that one, right? I don't know. Hamilton, very good case for it. Palm Springs, fantastic. Cannot remember what her name was, but it stars Andy Samberg. Palm Springs. Can't believe that was last year. Kristen Milotti, the mother from How I Met Your Mother. Spoiler alert. And J.K. Simmons. But it's basically it's a time loop movie. We're getting one every year now, folks. Time loop movie. They get stuck in a time loop in Palm Springs, and there's the reason I enjoyed it so much is because it's one of those dark comedy movies, much like Groundhog Day, which everyone uses as the nom de plume for this genre of film. Dark, dealing with this, like, obviously you're stuck in a loop. You don't want to be stuck in a loop forever and dealing with all these consequences, but also the only way to get out of it is, of course, dying. And then once you die, you start everything all over again. And because they're stuck in the middle of the desert, in the middle of a wedding that they don't want, Andy Samberg and Kristen Milotti don't want to be at. It's hilarious, and I highly recommend it. It's on Hulu. And The Prom, which I personally did not like, but everyone else seems to. Starring James Corden. Who else? The Prom. Help me out, internet. Directed by Ryan Murphy, who of course created Glee, Scream Queens, Hollywood, not the place, the show. Starring Meryl Streep, James Corden, Nicole Kidman, and that last guy. What is his name? Andrew Reynolds? Rennells? I'm gonna say Rennells. Keegan-Michael Key. Tracy Ullman. It's a musical about Broadway. What would you call them? Self-obsessed Broadway theater stars who have not made it, and they find themselves in a slump, and so they follow this story of a young girl in a small conservative Indiana town. Thank you, IMDb premise. And they try to help her with her problems so that they can become internet famous and launch their careers that way. When I was watching it, I felt uncomfortable for the sensible people in that small town. In like the characters who, I don't know. Like, the music was catchy, obviously. I don't like James Corden. That's been known. That's been known on the podcast. and in most things. Anytime he's in something, I instantly go, ugh. Especially when it's a musical, because I can't get behind him as a singer. That's just me personally. Yeah, my nomination is Hamilton, because I know Hamilton's gonna win. If Hamilton doesn't win Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, the world will implode. The world will implode. Just being honest here. And I think everyone from the other nominees will be okay if Hamilton wins, because they're all probably fans of Hamilton. That's how big it is. Okay, here's another interesting category, is Best Motion Picture Foreign Language. They have its own separate category now, which is fantastic. However, one of the nominees, Minari, I believe wasn't it made in America, and they have English as the main language? I need help out here. We're back at IMDb. Because I believe the controversy behind this as a film is it's about a Korean family who moved to America to start a farm in 1980s. I almost said Arkansas, because I don't know I don't know how the fuck to read. It's about them trying to fulfill the American dream. I mean, you can't get... I mean, they probably have American Pie in this film. They probably have football in this film. I have yet to see it. I plan to watch it before the Golden Globes to get a better understanding. But I've heard nothing but phenomenal things, and I think because it's tossed into Best Foreign Language because there is foreign language in the film, and it's not exclusive. It's not all in Korean. It's not like... I mean, Parasite. Look at Parasite, nominated last year, and won Best Picture Drama. Seriously? Minari is the only one that I've had a lot of experience reading about. What the fuck am I talking about? Obviously, it's probably because of the controversy. Another Round I know stars Mads Mikkelsen and is about him and a group of friends going around drinking and stuff. It sounds interesting. I want to check that out as well. La Llorona is not the Blumhouse film, but is one that was on Shudder, I believe. I misspelled that. Whoops, and that's the wrong one. See? I did it. That's the wrong one, see? Thank you. I cannot speak Spanish. That should just be obvious now. An aging paranoid war criminal protected by his faithful wife faces death while being haunted by the ghosts of his past. It sounds a lot like bringing fantastical horror elements to a very real story. Much like if you took all of the fantastical elements of Pan's Labyrinth out of the film and made it more about the young girl dealing and coping with the situation that she's in. I think it's similar to that, but in a horror spin. Jairo Bustamante. That's just what this video is gonna be. It's gonna be me mispronouncing names, forgetting people's names, and just looking everything up. I heard good things about this, but outside of watching the trailer on Shudder, I have yet to find it anywhere. Two of Us. It looks like this is just now releasing in the US, but was released in 2019 overseas. Pensioners Nina and Madeline have hidden their deep and passionate love for many decades, but their bond is put to the test when they are suddenly unable to move freely between each other's apartments. So a love story, which is always lovely to see. It's just called Deux overseas, which is French for two, for those that don't know. I know, I'm a master of language. And The Life Ahead. Obviously, I think, going off of my experience, Minari, and if it's Minari, then I'm butchering it yet again, but I believe that is the front runner for this category. with another round being behind that. But again, I'm going off of recognition from the actors and the controversies behind those films. As for the pedigree of each of the nominees, I couldn't tell you. In Seaside, Italy, a Holocaust survivor with a daycare business takes in a 12-year-old street kid who recently robbed her. Aw, I'm sure that there are some shenanigans going on in that story. And I'm not seeing these films anywhere. Like, they're not premiering in movie theaters because no one's in the movies. No one's in the movie theaters watching the movies because there's a pandemic going on. Especially with foreign language films that, in and of themselves, hardly get any recognition by movie theater chains, you know. I find myself to be lucky to be in an area where there are some independent movie theaters, as well as movie theater chains that are willing to give up a screen for Oscar contenders, but because there are so few people going to the movie theaters, they can't really justify getting the rights to screen these films if no one's going to go to the theater to watch them. So with that being said, Minari is my pick there. We need to speed this up. I'm going a little bit too slow. Best Director Motion Picture. Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, Aaron Sorkin for The Trial of the Chicago 7, Regina King for One Night in Miami, but this is her directorial debut. She starred in Watchmen, if you didn't recognize her name. I want to watch One Night in Miami. That's on my list of films to also watch. I've heard nothing but great things. But it's like it takes place in a fictional night where, what is it, Martin Luther King, Muhammad Ali, and Malcolm X all meet at a hotel in Miami. And they talk about the struggles of being African American during that time. Sounds really, really interesting, so I want to check that out. David Fincher, of course, I could have scrolled down and found his name, for Mank, and Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. My pick would be Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. I think for a feature, for her first feature, fantastic movie. Fantastic job. Of course, I think David Fincher is the most likely winner, just because of the pedigree of, once again, his body of work, as well as just overall successes, and because, once again, the movie is based in Hollywood's history, and that's always it's like sweet, buttery popcorn, like fresh popcorn, like a fresh pretzel. It's delicious. It's delicious to them, and they want it every day. And by they, I mean the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. They love pretzels. Best Screenplay, Motion Picture. So we're back again. We're gonna get the same nominees over and over and over again. Best Screenplay, Motion Picture. Chloe Zhao, Nomadland, so wrote and directed it. Aaron Sorkin for The Trial of Chicago 7. That's the front runner, I think. Jack Fincher, who I believe is David Fincher's son? I may be wrong. For Mank. Florian Zeller and Christopher Hampton for The Father. And Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. My pick, again, Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. However, obviously I could see Aaron Sorkin winning this, and Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, having not seen the movie, but hearing nothing but good things about the story itself. I think Aaron Sorkin might take this, just because the writing is so far removed from general conventions when it comes to how a story is written and how the characters act and react to each other in his scripts. Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture Drama. Viola Davis in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Fantastic movie. I checked it out after Zach recommended it on the podcast. She's fantastic. She's phenomenal in it. Frances McDormand in Nomadland. Again, need to watch this movie. Carey Mulligan in Promising Young Woman. Fantastic. Again, could have scrolled down, saw her name. Couldn't remember it. I'm so sorry, Carey. Andra Day for The United States versus Billie Holiday. This is something I hadn't heard. Obviously, I know who Billie Holiday is, but I haven't heard of this film. Follows Holiday during her career as she is targeted by the Federal Department of Narcotics with an undercover sting operation led by black federal agent Jimmy Fletcher, with whom she had a tumultuous affair. Directed by Lee Daniels. How did I miss this? Lee Daniels, of course. This person. Who directed Precious. Lee Daniels, The Butler, The Paperboy, The Woodsman. Created Empire. Phenomenal director. Garrett Hedlund, Natasha Lyonne, Leslie Jordan. Wow. It's because it's not out yet. That's why. You would think you would still hear buzz about this with how close it is to the ceremony itself of the Golden Globes. But it will be on Hulu on February 26th. I will check that out. I love me a good biopic. All right, guys? Biopics. It's where it's at. I love learning about the history of famous people. Why not? Finally, Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman. I didn't skip anybody, did I? No. Yeah, Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman. Another film I need to check out, and whose title I'm constantly confusing with Promising Young Woman, which is not their fault. But it is unfortunate, especially when it comes to the nominations, because you have Promising Young Woman, Pieces of a Woman. Come on. It's like At World's End, The World's End. Come on. What are you doing? Those both came out in different years. What am I doing? Best performance by an... frontrunner, I believe Frances McDormand for Nomadland. She's been getting nothing but buzz. My pick would be Carey Mulligan from my experience, just because of all of the films that I've watched from this category. While I do love Viola Davis's performance, I think Carey Mulligan knocked it out of the park and made me absolutely terrified of her if I ever met her in real life. And that's due in part to the script, the direction, but also her acting abilities. Moving on, best performance by an actor in a motion picture drama. Chadwick Boseman for his final performance ever. Unfortunately, in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, he was, again, phenomenal. And I think the frontrunner for, without even talking about the other nominees. Unfortunately, it's a sad fact that the death of an actor boosts their, I don't want to say likability, but their chances, obviously, of being recognized because of their final performance. It happens. Heath Ledger's obviously famous final performance in The Dark Knight being a example. I'm not saying that he's going to win because he died. He is a phenomenal actor, and he did perform phenomenally in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which you should check out. It's on Netflix right now. But just taking all of that into account, Gary Oldman, also a phenomenal actor. Obviously, he's had the experience of the wide slew of films that he's been in, and the fact that he's portraying, yet again, I keep bringing it up because it's important, a real screenwriter from Hollywood's history. The pedigree of his acting capabilities, and just the fact that all of Mank, David Fincher, everybody involved, there's a good chance that he can also pull it from Chadwick Boseman. Riz Ahmed in Sound of Metal, I have yet to check that out. That's actually, again, on my list of films that I need to watch. Anthony Hopkins in The Father. Anthony Hopkins. Has he not won a Golden Globe? Let's look this up. This is important. Shh. He has won an Oscar. Obviously, he won for his performance in Silence of the Lambs. He's been nominated for an Oscar a bajillion times. He won the Cecil B. DeMille Award in 2006, which seems like so long ago. And he's been nominated a bajillion times again. But he has not won a Golden Globe outside of the Cecil B. DeMille Award, which I'm not saying is not an award, but for a performance. Huh. Doesn't matter, he's got an Oscar. No. Oscar, Golden Globe, BAFTA, Emmy, and Tony. It's all the way up here. Tonys are important. And Tahar Rahim for The Mauritanian, which I have not heard of. Let's look this up. The Mauritanian. Watch, I'm gonna misspell it. If this is another movie that, is coming out like the week before the awards. Mohamedou Ould Salah, which I just butchered, and I'm glad I muttered it into my fist. Fights for freedom after being detained and imprisoned without charge by the U.S. government for years. Interesting. It's a very personal story. Benedict Cumberbatch, Shailene Woodley, Tahar Rahim being the main actor. Jodie Foster, Zachary Levi. Wow. Interesting cast. I will definitely check this out. This will be on... Where? Where will it be? Where can people watch this? Let's look this up. Oops. Come on. Where's it gonna be? It's not telling me. It's saying that there are gonna be some select movie theaters in my area that are gonna see it. I'll have to check it out. Best performance by an actress in a motion picture, musical, or comedy. Rosamund Pike, who I like, in I Care a Lot, which I have not heard of. Kate Hudson in music, the film we talked about before. Anya Taylor-Joy in Emma. I believe she's also nominated for The Queen's Gambit. We'll get to that. But interesting choice. I wasn't able to check that out. I should check that out. I heard good things. And I never read the book. Was never forced to. But maybe I might like it. Michelle Pfeiffer for French Exit. Not to be confused with The French Connection, which came out decades ago. Maria Bakalova, which I just butchered again in Borat's subsequent movie film, who plays Borat's daughter. That actress is obviously not a huge cast in that movie. Really loved Maria in Borat. It's the only movie I watched in this category. But I do like Anya Taylor-Joy. You'll see whenever we talk about the TV nominees. And Michelle Pfeiffer and Kate Hudson are known. They are known. This can go anywhere. This can go anywhere in my opinion, because I have no experience with almost every single film except for Borat, which is my own failing. Let's say it's Maria because of my experience. Best performance by an actor in a motion picture, musical, or comedy, and that's not my fault. Like, a lot of these movies have either yet to come out or came out in theaters, and there were just some movies that I missed. That's just gonna happen. Get out of here, Sun Chips. Get out of here, Sun Chips. Garden Salsa? More like Garden Asshole. Sorry. Best performance by an actor in a motion picture, musical, or comedy. Dev Patel, who needs to be in more things, in my opinion. Personal history of David Copperfield. Heard good things about that. But moving on to the next nominee is Lin-Manuel Miranda for Hamilton, which I'm feeling, I'm reading the room, I'm sensing, I'm checking in everybody's minds and pulses. Yep, they're alive and they have brains. Probably gonna choose Hamilton. James Corden in The Prom. We talked about it. We already talked about it. Sacha Baron Cohen in Borat. Fantastic. If he wins an award for this, fantastic. I know we're never gonna get another Borat film, or at least with him portraying the character, which why would anyone else portray the character? Anyway, and Andy Samberg and Paul Springs, who I loved. Whom I loved. A lot of great nominees. Lin-Manuel Miranda is going to win this. Sorry, Andy Samberg. Sorry, Sasha. But I would love to see Andy Samberg win. Why not for that film? But not enough people saw that film. Best performance by an actress in a supporting role in any motion picture. Any motion picture of all time. No, I'm just kidding. This year. Glenn Close in Hillbilly Eulogy, which I heard negative things about this film. Not about her performance in particular, but I feel like... What's going on here? Are you able to hear the music the whole time? Anyway, I heard negative things about the film. Not great things. And then it just kind of came and went. So I'm not sure. I can't say anything more about that. Jodie Foster in The Mauritanian. But he hasn't come out yet, so I will check it out and I'll get back to you on that. Amanda Seyfried in Mank. She was great. I feel like I didn't see anything new from her in this performance. Nothing super effective, in my opinion. That's because of the music. The song's called Pokemon Gym. Helena Zengel for News of the World. A movie I've yet to see. It's been in theaters. I didn't want to necessarily risk it for a film I didn't hear anything about. But I do want to check it out because of two simple words. And one glorious man. It's Tom Hanks. I'll watch anything with Tom Hanks in it. Anything. Even Joe versus the Volcano. And I did not love that movie. So I'll have to check that out. Of course, I'm not talking about Tom Hanks. I'm talking about Helena Zengel. Have not heard anything about her performance in that movie. Have not heard anything about the movie in general, but I still will watch News of the World. Olivia Colman in The Father. Olivia Colman, like I said, starlet right now. Absolutely killing it in everything she's in. And I think it's the front runner for this category. Olivia Colman. With Amanda Seyfried being a great second choice. But I can see an upset. I can see an upset in this category. It's a very eclectic list in that category. Best performance by an actor in a supporting role in any motion picture. We got Jared Leto in The Little Things, which we talked about in the latest episode of the podcast, which you can check out. Let'sCameraNonsense.com. Episode 39. We talked about it. I saw the film. Thought he was fantastic in it. It's not his best performance, but Jared Leto, for some reason, loves to play creepy characters, and I think he nailed it. He, for all intents and purposes, has killed everyone that you've ever loved. You, the listener, the watcher, and can get away with it by talking sweet and being one of those charismatic murderers. The ones that creep you out whenever you walk by them on the street, and you're like, that guy is definitely related to the Night Stalker. That guy might be the Unabomber's cousin. You don't know. But because they're so charismatic, you're just like, ooh, I mean, maybe he's just a super nice guy, but he looks weird. Anyway, don't judge people based on what they look like. That should be the message. That should be the lesson. Anyway, he was good in the film. Daniel Kaluuya in Judas and the Black Messiah. I currently am planning on watching this movie. I've heard really, really good things about his performance in it, but we will have to wait and see. Bill Murray in On the Rocks. What is On the Rocks, my friend? What is On the Rocks? Come on, internet. This is just Lost in Translation, but with a different... Yeah, Sofia Coppola, so yeah. Starring Bill Murray and Rashida Jones and Marlon Wayans, a young mother reconnects with her larger-than-life Playboy father on an adventure through New York. Sounds fun. It was on Apple TV Plus, and that's probably why. But it is an A24 film, and it's directed by Sofia Coppola, who is hit or miss for me. Her filmography is hit or miss for me. But I do love the cast in this movie. Jenny Slate, Jessica Henwick, Marlon Wayans, obviously, and Bill Murray and Rashida Jones. I love a lot of people in this. I want to check it out. Want to say, look, it's the most independent film, the most independent looking film of all time, but it's not, obviously. Love Bill Murray. I'll have to check out the movie. Leslie Odom Jr. in One Night in Miami. Leslie Odom Jr. obviously known for his role in Hamilton. I almost said Hamlet. It is Hamilton. And again, need to check it out. It's on my list. One Night in Miami. I'll get back to you on this. Heard nothing but good things. And Sacha Baron Cohen in The Trial of Chicago 7. He was fantastic. The fact that he is nominated for two drastically different roles says a lot about his acting abilities. Thought he was great in The Trial of Chicago 7. I think he's more of... He's not the main character because it's an ensemble cast film. I wouldn't say he stands out above anyone else, especially above the Jeremy Strongs and the Eddie Redmaynes and the everyone else who was involved in that film. They all kind of cohesively worked together as a cast, and the dialogue itself is the star of that movie. But I'd say the frontrunner, not obviously, because I've yet to see Judas and the Black Messiah, but I think let's go with Leslie Odom Jr. in One Night in Miami. Phenomenal actor. Heard nothing but good things about the movie. Maybe it'll win. Moving on. Best Motion Picture Animated. So we got Pixar's Soul. We've got Onward. Why am I blanking on that? I feel like I know what that movie is. Onward. Is that the other Pixar movie? Jeez, that was last year? Oh, 2020. Oh, man. That wasn't Pixar, was it? Am I losing my mind? It was Pixar. Oh, it was Pixar. So we were able to get 2 Pixar. Yeah. Sorry. Just had a black hole memory of all of last year. So Soul and Onward, Pixar getting 2 nominees in this category. We have The Croods: A New Age, which obviously is from the studio that did Ice Age. Okay. Nicolas Cage sneaking into animated films, getting nominated that way. Over the Moon and Wolfwalkers. Wolfwalkers being animated from the studio that did... oh my gosh. You'll know it when you see it. Hold on. Nope, that's Moonwalkers. I typed in Moonwalkers. Is that not what it's called? Wolfwalkers. Just bear with me. Yep. There's already a sequel announced. Cool. Tom Moore and Ross Stewart, they did... Oh crap. Secret of Kells, Song of the Sea. Breadwinner. I love the animation style. I loved their previous works. It's like talking about Like Entertainment and their films with Coraline and stuff like that. Obviously, it's a different studio. They do 2D animation. Have yet to check out the movie. It's on Apple TV. So I don't like the accessibility to it, but it's been getting phenomenal reviews. Same thing with Over the Moon, which I did see, and is on Netflix now. And I thought it was really cute, and obviously it's directed by Glenn Keane, who is known for working with Disney on Beauty and the Beast, Tangled, Tarzan, all of these films. But Over the Moon, love the music, love the animation. It's very cute. This was before Soul came out. This was after Onward had already been out for forever. Yeah, I'm going to choose Soul because it's the quote-unquote obvious choice because of the story and obviously the animation and how beautiful it looks. But story-wise, I loved Over the Moon. So that's my pick. But Soul, I think, is going to win. And I still want to check out Wolfwalkers. Wolfwalkers, I think, could easily sneak in and be the underdog there. Pun intended. Best Original Score, Motion Picture. So Soul. Come on. Mank. Tenet. So Tenet finally getting a nomination, but for score, I don't know if this is its only nomination. I haven't actually gone through this list rigorously. So if this is the only nomination for Tenet, I can't imagine how pissed off. I almost said Christopher Plummer. It's not Christopher Plummer. Christopher Nolan is. Although I'm sure he's done with that movie now that it's out. The Midnight Sky and News of the World. Midnight Sky, I've yet to check out. It's on Netflix. It was right there, ready to be consumed by my eyes over the Christmas break, and I missed out on it. I need to still check it out because it's George Clooney, man. The guy sells coffee to people. That's what he's known for. And News of the World again. The The only music that really stands out to me is from Soul and Tenet. I can definitely see Soul winning, but it's been a hot minute since an animated film has won Best Original Score. Now, Best Soundtrack, they almost always win. However, Best Original Score, it could be Tenet, and I love Tenet's score. It's one of the few things I did enjoy about that film. Let's give it to Soul. I think Soul might take it. It's the only one that really stands out to me, and again, I have yet to see these bottom two nominees. Best Original Song, Motion Picture. Fight for You, Judas and the Black Messiah. Movie hasn't come out yet. Speak Now, One Night in Miami. Have yet to see it. Hear My Voice, The Trial of the Chicago 7. Do not remember it. This is not a great category for me, folks. Is that Low C scene for The Life Ahead? And Tigress and Tweed, The United States versus Billie Holiday. Want to check it out. I can't give it to really anybody because none of these songs are really popping out to me, and I can't play them for obvious reasons. Best Television Series. We're now moving on to TV. Strap in. Hold on, I'm strapping in. Hold on. I'm strapping in. Strapped. Best Television Series, musical or comedy. Emily in Paris. Came and went for me. It was such a big deal. It was like Bridgerton. It was such a big deal for like a full week, and then people just moved on. That's the problem with Netflix. And a lot of these Netflix nominees, unless they already have had previous seasons where they were huge and they continue to be huge with every new season, they just kind of come and go. Even when they come back, it's just kind of like, well, I don't remember you from last year. Do I need to rewatch you again? Emily in Paris is going to be one of those shows for me where I'm going to be like, I'll check it out. I'll put it on the list. But am I going to commit to it? Should I have watched Emily in Paris instead of Bridgerton? It's a question for the ages. The Flight Attendant, I do not remember, but let's see. Hold on. The Flight Attendant. Does not sound interesting. Kaylee Cuoco. A reckless flight attendant with an alcoholism problem wakes up in the wrong hotel in the wrong bed with a dead man and no idea what happened. When questioned, okay, is this a murder mystery on HBO Max? Interesting. Yes, I pronounced the T in interesting. As one should. Interesting. No one has talked about this, but it's nominated for 2 Golden Globes. Okay, alright. Damn you, HBO Max. Did you bury this? Followed by The Great, which sounds familiar. Hold on. Oh, yes. About, Elle Fanning, Nicholas Hoult, royal woman living in rural Russia during the 18th century is forced to choose between her own personal happiness and the future of Russia when she marries an emperor. I heard really good things about this. I saw the trailer. It looked really interesting, and then something came up, and I watched something else instead. But it's about Catherine the Great. I heard it's very darkly comedic. I want to check it out. And I like Nicholas Hoult. When you share a name with an actor, first name, Bond. You know, you James Bond over it. And then Schitt's Creek, which, if it wins, great. It won every award at the Emmys. So there is a very good chance that it can sweep yet again for Best Television Series, Musical, or Comedy. However, my pick will be Ted Lasso. I talked about it on the podcast. Favorite TV show that I watched far too late. Just fluffy goodness. Highly recommend anybody who hasn't watched it, even after our recommendation on the podcast, should check it out now that it has been nominated for Best Television Series, Musical, or Comedy. If it beats Schitt's Creek, if it beats Emily in Paris, if it beats The Great or The Flight Attendant, I will be happy. This will be one of these categories that I'm going to be paying very special attention to because of how much I love one of the nominees, Ted Lasso. Moving on, Best Television Series Drama. Now we got The Crown, which I have yet to watch any of. I should watch it. I love a good biopic, remember. Lovecraft Country, which Zach stands by, is a very, very good show. I will finish that before the Golden Globes, because I stand by my bro and his recommendations. Lovecraft Country. The Mandalorian, which is a very important thing to mention being a nominee. Star Wars gets nominated out the ass for technical awards. Sci-fi, fantasy, they always get nominated out the ass for the technical awards, but never for the main staples like Best Drama or Best Story or Best Direction or anything like that. But because it's nominated for Best Television Series Drama, it's very notable. That's also my pick. It's The Mandalorian. But I could see any nominee in this category taking it. Ozark still has yet to win for Best Television Series Drama. I believe they're in their fourth season. Third season. Third or fourth? 4 seasons. Haha, got it. And I've heard nothing but good things. It's basically Breaking Bad, but in the Appalachian Mountains. Cool. Or Ozark Mountains. Fuck. And Ratched. I don't know why they made this series. It seems so weird, but Sarah Paulson, being Sarah Paulson, a phenomenal actress, and I heard good things about it overall as a series. I don't know if I'll be able to check it out in time to give it a good review. Plus, I think this might be the only thing that it's nominated for. I could be wrong. We'll see. But my pick is Mandalorian. Very contentious category. It's another one that I'm going to be keeping an eye out for because, again, my appreciation for The Mandalorian and hopefully Lovecraft Country. Best performance by an actor in a television series drama. Jason Bateman in Ozark. Josh O'Connor in The Crown, who I like. Matthew Rhys and Perry Mason. Take that win, Matthew Rhys. Did he ever win for The Americans? I know that The Americans won a award, or at least a few. I don't know if he ever took home Best Actor. Could be wrong. Al Pacino and Hunters, another show on Amazon Prime Video that I wanted to check out, but because after watching the trailer, I'm like, oh, this looks really interesting. Kind of hunting down Nazis and stuff. This sounds really cool. Came and went for me. It showed up, and then I had other shows that I was paying attention to. I want to check it out. Another show I may not be able to check out before the Golden Globes this year, but I've heard good things, and I love Al Pacino. Dunkachino. And Bob Odenkirk in Better Call Saul. I think Bob Odenkirk is obviously the front runner here, being an established series, being a very well-liked actor. He's on the rise. Obviously, he's the new John Wick in that movie coming out. What is it? Nobody. Matthew Rhys, obviously, he's known and liked from his past in The Americans, which a lot of people liked, but it didn't get the recognition it deserved by award shows. And Jason Bateman, again, being well loved for his performance in Ozark, but never really being fully recognized by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. My apologies. I think Bob Odenkirk is going to take it, though. I think he will. Best performance by an actress in a television series drama. We've got Emma Corrin in The Crown, Laura Linney in Ozark, Olivia Colman. Ozark getting a lot of nominations. Good for them. Olivia Colman in The Crown. Front runner right here. Jodie Comer in Killing Eve, and Sarah Paulson in Ratched. Never mind. She did get nominated for Ratched, as well she should, because she needs all the recognition. This is a tough one, because another category of shows that Killing Eve I started, but never really fully got into, but I did enjoy and just fell off. Olivia Colman again being recognized for the hard work that she does in not only The Crown, but the films that she's in. Front runner. But Sarah Paulson and Jodie Comer could easily take it. And Laura Linney, obviously. 2 nominations for a single show. Gives it good chances. All great actresses. But I think Olivia Colman will take it. I should watch The Crown. I've been told. Best performance by an actress in a television series, musical, or comedy. We got Catherine O'Hara, Schitt's Creek. Kaylee Cuoco in The Flight Attendant. Good for her. That's 2 nominations for a show. I had never heard of. Not great. For me. Elle Fanning in The Great. Good for her. Fantastic actress. I just wish I had seen the show. Jane Levy for Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. I remember seeing the trailer for this show. Loving the premise for it. You know, because like everyone's singing the thoughts in their head, and she's hearing this musical stuff. I was gonna actually start watching it today, but decided to do this instead. So say of that what you will. Love her as an actress though. And Lily Collins and Emily in Paris. Emily in Paris is how you're supposed to say it, but fuck you, Paris. Not fuck you, Paris. Fuck you, comma, Paris. With all the spaces. Catherine O'Hara being the front runner here, just with all of the recognition that they got from the Emmys. I can definitely see her taking this category as well. Heard nothing but good things in about these shows, but we've talked about a decent chunk of them, and Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist I'm hearing nothing about from the general public. And I talk to the general public all the time, and they say, "Hi, it's me, the general public." General public. Cannot say it today. Cannot say anything today. So tongue-tied. Best performance by an actor in a television series, musical, or comedy. Jason Sudeikis, Ted Lasso. Let's see you win, boy. Fantastic. Lovable. I love him. I need him. Eugene Levy in Schitt's Creek, front runner. Nicholas Hoult in The Great. That's 3 nominations for The Great. Fantastic. Means I need to watch it. Rami Youssef and Rami. Heard nothing but great things about that show. However, it was choosing between Rami and either choosing Rami or Dave, and I watched Dave, and I loved Dave. Played by Lil Dicky. Great show. Not seeing it nominated, not super happy about that, but that's okay. And Don Cheadle in Black Monday, which came and went for me. Thought it was a mini series. Apparently, it's got more than one season. Love Don Cheadle. Was not able to check out the show. But I think Eugene Levy in Schitt's Creek, again, being a front runner for this category. Jason Sudeikis needs to win it because Ted Lasso is fantastic. But another category I'm going to keep an eye on. Best Television Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television. So these are mini-series that's like a single season or just a handful of episodes put on a platform to be consumed like a super long movie. The Undoing, which I'm blanking on. This is one of those super drama, obvious. Yeah, Nicole Kidman, Hugh Grant, modern twist to a classical whodunit tale when the life of a wealthy New York therapist turns upside down after she and her family get involved with a murder case. I love Hugh Grant. Nicole Kidman getting nominated for all the weird roles this year, for this and Prom. Edgar Ramirez. Huh. Donald Sutherland. Interesting. So it's a murder mystery, and it's on HBO Max right now. I remember seeing this whenever I first upped on HBO Max, but it didn't grab me. Something as normal and plain sounding as The Undoing, it's not a grabber. Like, you're watching these for the actors who are involved, and I love the actors who are involved, but you gotta entice me a little bit more, especially when you make it a murder mystery type show. Queen's Gambit, being a cultural phenomenon this of 2020, becoming huge. I think it might be the front runner here. And I've also never heard... where is my accent going? Holy fuck! What was that? It's also a front runner, simply because it's also the only movie I watched in this category. Normal People. Again, it's these boring names. Daisy Edgar-Jones, Paul Mescal, Desmond Eastwood. Follows Marianne and Connell from different backgrounds, but the same small town in Ireland. After me lucky charms, Ireland. I'm going to hell. As they weave in and out of each other's romantic lives. So it's a very interesting drama romance. Just kind of came and went miniseries. Unorthodox and Small Acts. Let's look these up. Unorthodox Orthodox. It's a weird word. Story of a young ultra-Orthodox Jewish woman who flees her arranged marriage and religious community to start a new life abroad. I do remember seeing trailers of this. What platform was it on? It was on Netflix. Damn it, Netflix. Burying some of these shows, especially when they are... shows, I say. TV miniseries. I cannot talk today. Especially when they are award contenders. And we can look up and see when... Like, look at the popularity dropping down. When they drop and then them getting buried by the 4th fucking season of The Crown. Again, nominated. It's getting its recognition. It's a bad example. But I'm just saying, Netflix dumps all of these shows and all of these, like, yeah, you've seen this before, but have you seen it on Netflix? And burying these good shows. And then Small Axe, which I didn't look up, is nominated multiple times. Let's see. On Prime Video. Starring John Boyega, Shea Cole, Gary Beadle. Small Axe is based on the real-life experiences of London's West Indian community and is set in between 1969 and 1982. These are the kind of stories that I'd like to watch. Like, they're on platforms that I don't automatically get drawn to. Amazon Prime Video being, like, my third choice, unfortunately. Just a little behind-the-scenes peek behind the curtain here. It's usually, Netflix, Hulu/Disney Plus, and then Amazon Prime Video. And when they're on the smaller platforms and they get dropped, and it's these interesting stories of these time periods and these unique communities that it's, or places that they are placed in. I want to check it out, but I can't because I'm not looking hard enough. That's my own damn fault. But hopefully, with it being nominated, more people are able to check it out. Best performance by an actor in a limited series or motion picture made for television. That I can say. But I can't say people's names. Ethan Hawke and The Good Lord Bird. Heard good things. Didn't really grab me. Westerns that aren't immediately action westerns or aren't immediately weird western movies, I don't normally get drawn to. Love Ethan Hawke, but he's also not an actor I'm normally drawn to. Hugh Grant in The Undoing. Mark Ruffalo in I Know This Much Is True. Jeff Daniels in The Comey Rule, and Bryan Cranston in Your Honor. Stacked category. All great actors. I want to give it to Jeff Daniels in The Comey Rule. Sorry. Simply because I thought his performance in this... he's portraying a real person that a lot of people know and have seen footage of. James Comey obviously being... I don't want to say notorious, but he's well known, especially in America. And Jeff Daniels portraying this larger-than-life person in a very controversial role, of course. I thought he did a phenomenal job. Bryan Cranston, I vaguely remember this movie. A lot of these I haven't seen. But my pick is going to be Jeff Daniels in The Comey Rule. And because I think it's relevant, especially as a movie today. Oh, here we go with Anya, with her second nomination. Best performance by an actress in a limited series or motion picture made for television. Super long name. Don't like it. Let's shorten these things. Anya Taylor-Joy in The Queen's Gambit. Nicole Kidman in The Undoing. Cate Blanchett in Mrs. America. Shira Haas in Unorthodox, the main actress. And Daisy Edgar Jones in Normal People. Have yet to see these three. And this. So I have to give it to the series that I actually did watch was Anya Taylor-Joy, who I thought was fantastic in The Queen's Gambit. Again, cultural phenomenon. We talked about it. Go watch it. It'll make you want to play chess. Even if you're not good at it, like me. Like this guy. Best performance by an actress in a supporting role in a series, limited series, or motion picture made for television. Still nailing the titles of these categories, but can't name names. Even though it's written in front of me. Gillian Anderson in The Crown. When is she gonna get nominated for American Gods? When is American Gods gonna get nominated for something? Come on, guys. I just don't want it to be canceled. I know that the third season has just started. Side tangent. And it's great so far. But come on. Helena Bonham Carter, who's under the radar now, who's not really the main lead in movies or TV anymore, but is now in The Crown, from what I've heard. Again, haven't watched any of it. I've heard good things about her performance in The Crown. Again, The Crown getting nominated twice in a single category, upping their chances. Cynthia Nixon in Ratched. Ratched getting another nomination. I guess I need to watch it. Didn't think I would have to watch a prequel to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but here we are. Annie Murphy for Schitt's Creek. Quite heard good things. Schitt's Creek being the front runner here. Although The Crown might take it, with just based on odds alone. But Schitt's Creek, Ratched, The Crown, and Ozark getting each of their main cast members nominated in their respective categories. It's an interesting play, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out. I don't want to give every category to Schitt's Creek based on the Emmys turnout. And because it's the only show that I have committed to watching. Or at least started watching. But I have to give it to Schitt's Creek again. At least one more roll. Oh, I'll give it to Dan Levy. I can't give it to every category. But kind of blending two of these together, we have Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role and Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role. Both distinct categories, but very interesting how they played out when it came to nominating the actors involved. So we got Brendan Gleeson playing Donald J. Trump in the Comey role. Very small role. I mean, important role in the telling of that story. But I don't see him taking that, which ups Schitt's Creek. Ups Dan Levy's chances. Again, also just a great actor. Donald Sutherland in The Undoing. Have yet to see it. Again, boring name. But if it's being nominated several times for each of the actors' performances in the show, then I'll have to check it out. Limited series. Sorry, not show. John Boyega in Small Axe. Fantastic that he's getting nominated, especially despite the controversies involved in his disputes with Disney and the Star Wars community at large. That being said, if his role is as substantial in Small Axe, it being a series of 5 short films, obviously he got nominated for it, so there's a good chance that he might actually take this. But Dan Levy is the front runner, in my opinion. With Jim Parsons kind of... No offense to Jim Parsons, all right? But did everybody see Hollywood? I didn't hear about Hollywood from anyone. It was one of those shows that, I mean, it was created by Ryan Murphy, who obviously was already nominated for The Prom, or his film was. He wasn't specifically, but it just kind of came and went. It was another one of those shows that just kind of came and went. And I didn't actually know that it was a limited series. I thought it was, in a series, limited series, or motion picture. Sorry. That's an interesting pick. That he's kind of the dark horse in this category. But again, I'm sticking with my choice of Dan Levy and Schitt's Creek. I think Schitt's Creek will once again sweep. But again, I could be wrong. We could get upsets. We were already not getting a lot of nominations for a lot of movies and TV shows that did come out last year that are not being recognized. There are some snubs. But that's a different video. That's a different stream. That is the Golden Globes. The 2020 Golden Globes. 2021 Golden Globes. Sorry. It's in the year that it actually takes place. A lot of performances that I still need to watch. A lot of performances that have yet to come out in a better opportunity for me to be able to consume that content. Nom, 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 nom. But I still have time. All right. If what they're saying is true and that it's actually February 28th that the Golden Globes is airing in some digital way, then we're going to stream it here. We're going to stream it here. Shh, don't tell anyone. And we're going to react in real time to all of the winners. And by that point, I will have watched a lot of these films, a lot of the TV shows that I was not able to watch. Hopefully, I'll have enough time to be able to consume it all, and then I will report back to you. But, with all that being said, it's Golden Globe nominations. What the fuck is happening to my voice? I'm excited. A lot of great nominees. A lot of great films and TV shows that came out last year that not only was I not able to consume it all, but I'm sure a lot of people weren't able to consume it all. But this is always a great opportunity for when you go down the list and you say, I haven't seen this, or this. I should probably check it out. I mean, if it's getting the recognition, if it's getting nominated by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, those are all the actors and actresses that are telling you, hey, I watched this and I thought it was fantastic and I think you would enjoy it too. You know, reviewers notwithstanding. Me. This guy. I'm telling you, expose yourself to more film and television, and I promise you, you will actually be surprised by how much good content is out there. But until then, this has been another smallish stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll go ahead and throw this into a side of nonsense. And we'll throw this up on our YouTube over at Lights Camera Nonsense. Thank you so much. Make sure to tune in to our podcast over at lightscameranonsense.com, where you can view it in audio form on Spotify, iTunes, Radio FM, anywhere, or in video form on YouTube. But if you want to just follow me and my exclusive content here on this Twitch channel, you can. I am actually streaming through the Resident Evil franchise, starting with Resident Evil 0. That's where I currently am. Going all the way to Resident Evil 7, and then finally Resident Evil Village when it comes out on May 14th. I'm excited. Stay tuned. That's where I'll be Saturday. But until then, I'll catch you later. I need to come up with a great sign-off. Bye, I love you.